I'm the founder of the Texan token, but also got a YouTube channel called Crypto Heartbeat, and we've got a number of groups. Compassion Cartel is a good example of that, but really all about building community in crypto and helping tokenize communities. My background is in fundraising. For 22 years, I worked in the fundraising world, helping nonprofits raise money and use technology to do that. And it wasn't up until the Pulse sacrifice, the Richard Heart ecosystem sacrifice, where he encouraged people to give to the Sens Foundation in order to do token distribution for Pulsechain. And I was so inspired because he raised $27 million in about 19 days for a charitable organization, and that got me really excited about, hey, this is really a powerful way to help organizations raise money and launch cryptocurrencies into new communities of trust. So,
okay, yeah. So, you kind of explained at the beginning, but what exactly is Crypto Heartbeat? That's just the name of your channel?
yeah.
Or
So, yeah. So, I started in October of last year
Mhm.
when I found out that Richard Heart was going to fork Ethereum. And that's obviously the Ethereum fork is called Pulsechain. And we're getting really close to launching that, but it's been about almost 2 years now. And so I started that because I thought that was one of the biggest new opportunities in the crypto space. And I really admired his desire to build a vertically aligned ecosystem. And that's really what got me started with Crypto Heartbeat. But I also, honestly, I'm 50 years old. Most of the people in crypto are younger people, and I wasn't hearing people talk about the things I wanted to talk about. So I said, well, if I want to hear that stuff, I might as well start saying it. So that's really what started it, and it's really evolved and been really cool because I like to focus on what's at the heart of the matter, the philosophy, the why behind, why are we doing this and how this can potentially change the world.
yeah. So, what actually made you get started in the crypto community to begin with?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my brothers were very into computers and they were older than me. One of my brothers worked for Apple in the early days, and then my other
Nice.
brother he still works for Microsoft. And
Okay.
so it's a real interesting kind of, they were all into computers, really early days. Like my brother was building computers in the house. And so I was really interested in technology, but not the way my brothers were. And so, it wasn't until years later I started a business in a startup in the nonprofit space and ended up running that business for 10 years. We had 200 employees. We bought 4 companies. It was a large and fast growing full service fundraising agency. But it
Nice.
wasn't until about 2015 when I remember the day because our investor said, "Hey, let's look into mining Bitcoin." And so at that point in time, we were looking at hardware and looking at the costs, and we did a pro forma on what the potential returns could be. But this is when Bitcoin was at $414. And I remember thinking, there's just no way it'd have to go to $800. And I'm like, there's just no way this is going to work out. And so we decided not to do it. I
Yeah.
had a little bit of Bitcoin, and my oldest brother had, it's funny. He had a friend who lost his Bitcoin. He couldn't get to it. And he had so much of it that this guy told my brother, "Hey, if you find my Bitcoin, I'll give you half of it."
Wow.
And so my brother found it on his computer and traveled around the world on this guy's Bitcoin. But that was really the introduction to it.